Okay, here we go. This is a continuation of a prior talk and some other aspects of language learning. Um, so I'm going to recap to start with the ALG. What's going on with ALG, automatic language growth, has changed over the period of time. If you read Brown's original book, unpublished, but you can find it online. He talks about how to present ALG in the classroom setting. And as I said before, this is a right brain technique. It is not actual learning, it's acquisition, and this is why it bypasses translation. You have to reset sort of neural connections to the events, the experiences. It's how you learn your first language. It's only done in two languages, taught only in Thailand, in Bangkok, and those two languages, of course, are Thai and then a little bit for Japanese. It has not been exported to any other places in the world. It has not been used for world languages, which is what is going to have to be done to make it grow, to make it more acceptable. It has no studies behind it, no research behind it, doesn't have any grants, doesn't have any academic um, work, and this is what's holding it back in a lot of ways. The David Long, who's in control of the program right now, is not doing things to make it more palatable to the masses. So it's limited. It does work. It is slow, like I said. And then when they go into the script, the Thai script of learning the Thai script, reading and writing, that is the typical reading and writing is the typical learning process. So then it shifts back to a left brain approach, whereas initially it's a right brain approach. It's very slow, like I said, about 2 years. The people do come out at a high level, but then again, you have to consider what do you want to accomplish with your level. The only people who are using it, like I said, are retirees, basically, that are here in Thailand. No one else has that sort of time. There are some businessmen who are working who do it part time, but it takes a long time. There's so many hours. About Yeah, it's a lot. If I tell you how many hours it takes, you're gonna be shocked because everything is actual time and duration of hours, and you got to look at that. Now to talk about something else, as I was saying before about TPR and Asher. The segue here is into something that a lot of people are once again wrong about here on the YouTube because they don't have academic backgrounds, they haven't researched, they can't do literature review. I don't know what their problem is actually. They're talking about Krashen, and here's the book Krashen with Terrel that actually started the whole aspect of input. Now, once again, input is defined in this book, comprehensible input, and the people like Kaufman are not using the definition. What's so difficult? Here's the book. Find the book. Look at the book. Read the book. This has been out for a long time. Here, comprehensible input is defined as knowing 90% or more of what comes in. You are pushed to find a little bit. Input by itself is meaningless. It won't get you anywhere. Like I said before, you can have input of radio, for example, but it's not paired to any experience. It's not paired to observational learning. It's not modeled for you. It's not presented in the here and now. This book talks about the way to structure content input so that it is sequentially gradiated for you to input, to acquire. This is also done in the talking about using it in the classroom, not just in natural environment, not as your first L1 as for your L2 or L3. You can use this approach, which is very good. And Terrell, not mentioned a lot by people like Kaufman, but he's instrumental in co-founding this approach. The methodology here is to use TPR, to use Asher. They talk about how strong TPR. Like I said before, no other technique in the world has got the academic studies behind it like TPR does. In a study of TPR versus grammar translation methods for learning German, TPR was 5 times faster. 5 times. In 1/5 of the time, the students were ahead of the grammar translation students. Grammar translation is the older method still used by some people. That's a very left brain approach that was done because of dead languages originally. That's how dead languages are studied, since there is no spoken communication, then you can you can only be concerned about the script. And then, of course, if you're going to use the script, you're going to only be able to use that when you compare it to another language. So Latin, ancient, classical Greek, classical Latin, some Gothic, Church Gothic, Old Norse, many Old French, Old English, like also is different than Gothic and anyway. But the fact is, those languages were studied like that. So people, when they approached language learning, put that method over onto the spoken languages that are still in use. The United States was very well known for doing this because it's a landlocked country. Basically, to the north is Canada, where there are some French speakers. To the south, of course, is Spanish. But most people in the United States never had contact until recently with speakers of other languages other than English, although the United States used to be very multicultural, multilingual. New York City still is, but the majority of the country, the internal part of it, is not. It's monolingual, and that's what led to the spread of English, actually, was the plain states becoming so monolingual. Anyway, to get back to Asher and to Terrel, this is the book. Okay, number one, Kaufman doesn't understand what comprehensible input is. He doesn't know what input is. He just babbles input, input. It doesn't work. It's the same thing as saying, okay, I'm going to throw you in some fights. You're going to get better a little bit just because you the survival level, but you're not going to make it to another higher level. You're not going to become a great fighter because it's too much, it's overwhelming. You're going to get killed, actually. It has to be sequential. And in your first language, it's sequentially built. Read the book to know. Okay, I'm not going to cover all of that in here. I'm not going to cover it right now at all. So I wanted to also, while I'm at this, cover a lot of topics about language learning. I'm getting a lot of people sending me messages about they want me to construct their personal learning program, or they want me to give them all the resources. Look, I'm on here right now as a person who is pointing the way. Discovery learning. I'm giving you the reality that there are more methods out there, that what people are presenting on YT, the dilettantes, the linguophiles, is incorrect, and that you should look at other spots. You should look at other ways. And I'm giving you the pointing the finger, as it were, to the moon, is in the Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon. Don't get confused here. I'm not shoveling out all the information to you, all right? Now, later, I might be available to do personal language learning programs. As I said, I'm a linguist. I am too busy with actual academic work to be messing around with this. I just want to, and my purpose is to stop the basically the erroneous thinking and promulgation of ideas on here. I wanted you to know that most of the people on here cannot learn undocumented languages. So whatever techniques they're using means that they're using only left brain techniques, number one, and they're not using left brain techniques that are very analytical. If they were using analytical left brain techniques, they could handle learning Durable. They could handle learning Kisu. They could handle Lao Shu. They could handle Shan. All these different languages, or languages that I've had to have some contact with. Languages without scripts means you're going to have to know, you're going to have to be a field linguist. And originally, the people who started the Army language program, which became DLI and FSI, were field linguists. So much for Kaufman's, linguistic ability doesn't count because he doesn't have the credentials. Neither do these other people. They always you'll hear people decry credentials. And those people who decry those are the ones who never have them and can't get them, can't get published in an academic journal, are not invited to speak at actual academic settings because they don't have the ability to construe what is necessary to be an academic. Anyway, so I wanted to cover that. Now I'm getting some people who want to leave comments, just like an academic setting. If you're not going to tell me your real name, you're not going to have a real photo, you're not getting on here. The anonymous writing from people I'm not going to put up with, all right? You're either going to respect the fact that I'm on here giving my time and energy to decry the fact that other people are giving you lies, and respect that, and at least be have a backbone enough to say, hey, this is my name, this is my photo, this is what I'm doing. And if you say, hey, I don't need to do that, you need to be in the witness protection program. Get off the internet, all right? If you're hiding in fear, then don't leave comments. Don't try to leave comments. I won't put up with the trolling either. A lot of people are trolling from other people's channels. Now, I'm going to continue in other videos more information about language learning, but I'm also going to get back to linguistics. Somebody asked me about classifiers, and I'm going to cover classifiers, what they are and why it's so important in many languages. Also, I've got some people who are watching my videos who are actual interpreters, actual translators. These are the high level people. What's amazing to me is that they haven't made their voice known better on YT, but they've all said to me, I've sent these emails from people who are translators, interpreters, and also have linguistics degrees saying, yeah, we're tired of the dilettantes. They're not using that word, but they're saying, we're tired of the people on YouTube who are trying to say linguistics doesn't matter, that you can't approach it like this, you can't do it like that, because all the people on YouTube right now who are got names, which is meaningless because they're not published, they haven't written any books, they haven't done anything, are trying to give you a product that they're coming up with, that their service of trying to re-understand other textbooks, or their amalgamation of little hackneyed ideas that work together, or their service of using a left brain thing, like we all know who's trying to do these sorts of things. You got to remember the people that ask me, well, I got to learn it on my own. I want to learn the language. Languages were developed. The whole point is communication. They're not learned in a vacuum. You didn't learn your L1 without people to speak to. If you don't have anybody to speak to, forget the language, okay? It's useless. It's not pragmatic for you in the William James point of view of pragmatic usage. So you're going to have to realize what people ask me, what language do they learn? Well, which language can you use? Which language can you use besides the one you have right now, besides your L1? So if you don't have someone to speak with, if you have no opportunities to speak with people, then that language is useless. You're just playing a little game. You're like a tourist, at best you're a tourist. We got people on here who are reciting the same script over and over in 10 languages as if now they're capable of communication in real time. They're not. They have memorized little scripts, and that's not communication. They can't generate new and unique utterances, as we say in the linguistics field. Anyway, okay, so there's a lot of things here. I just want to cover ALG again, TPR, Krashen, Terrel, all of that covered here, talking about why the YT people are wrong again, guiding you in the right direction, telling you, yes, there's things out there, not handing it to you, teaching you how to fish, not giving you the fish, providing the fish for you right now. Other things will happen in the future. I'm going to get back to linguistic stuff. And yes, you know about my fighting and self-defense. Yes. And a lot of people say, why are you so passionate about what you're doing? Because professional fighter, if I didn't believe in what I'm doing, I wouldn't be doing it. I don't get in a ring and not believe in my ability to punch, kick, knee, or whatever. Okay. So same thing here intellectually. All right. So that's it from Thailand for right now. I'll talk to you again later. Okay. Adore.